week and a day. Yay. Now keep in mind, when I put this on the calendar, I feel like I have to remind everybody, this is for Mays. So if you go to one of the other districts, one of the other schools outside of Mays, you'll need to look at their calendar. So if you're going out to Garden Plain or Colwich, you'll need to make sure you check their calendars. Oh, that also goes for VOTEC. So VOTEC I believe VOTEC's on the same spring break we are, but check. Don't take my word for it. Okay, we're gonna hustle through this. Driver Repair of the Month, drum roll please. Bill Fogarty, where you at? Please stand up. Please stand up. So we have a lot of good drivers. This is not easy to choose from. We take what you guys give to us all the time and we go through them all. But I can say Bill, I throw him, no pun intended, under the bus all the time. He's like, I'm available today, and I said, don't even ask where you're going, just show up. I'll put you somewhere. I don't even have to look. You just come in, we'll take care of you. So thank you, Bill, for being so flexible. We appreciate it.
Hey, Bill. So now you're on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Pair of the month, Tosh. Tosh, where are you at? Please stand up. You're new, so we want to see your face. It's unusual to get somebody that's been with us less than a month to be pair of the month, but when the schools write in and tell us how amazing you are, I'm all about it. So I got 2 emails that said, Chrissy, before you leave, they're asking our mini bus drivers, are they available to come to that meeting on Thursday as well with the para training? Is that open to our mini bus drivers as well?
The
Special ed drivers?
Are you talking about the listening session?
The para training, yeah, on Thursday, do you know?
Yeah,
I thought so.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good day. So this one comes from Mays South High. They had a struggle on the bus. This would have been on February 7th. Yesterday after school, we had a student that wasn't making good choices, kept the bus from leaving. At one point, there were many additional adults on the bus helping to support that student. I want to reach out and give the biggest pat on the back going to the para who jumped in and helped distract one of the other students who had become extremely agitated because the bus was not leaving. She wasn't sure of his name, but said he did an amazing, wonderful job and needs a huge pat on the back. Same situation, I found out in this email that the student held up the bus for 40 minutes. So those of you that deal with sped kids, you know what adding 40 minutes in a parking lot does to those. Those of you that drive a regular bus know what it does to a kid, let alone add that onto a sped bus. So kudos, great job. That's probably the first time I've ever had staff write in. So nice job. Thanks, Tosh. Appreciate that. While we're speaking of our new folks, I think we have a new CDL pass, right, Brian? So passed these tests 2 years ago. So he's our newest CDLer, so congratulations. Am I missing anybody else that's taken a test that we haven't recognized lately? I don't think so. Okay. Tack, where are you at, my friend? Come on up, Mr. Paul. You get the microphone.
Go, Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul, bus 238.
Hi, Paul.
TAC is Transportation Advisory Committee. Sometimes we become an advocacy committee because we try to do things that are beneficial to all of bus drivers and paras. We started 2 years ago, I believe, and we've had 34 meetings. In the beginning, we were meeting twice a month. But that got to be too much, so it's once a month now. Always on a Tuesday. Normally we last only for 1 hour. Started out because a couple years ago there was a lot of negative talk in the break room. I mean, it was bad to go in there. Also, we felt that we were kind of being overlooked by the district of being a necessary evil in the district. And anyway, times have changed. The break room now is a comfortable place for people to go in and talk and sit down. We've done a lot of things. We also do a lot of little tiny things for safety in the bus area, the Mays district. The crosswalks have been talked about. We have school resource officers come in to visit. We have some of the brass over there from the main building come in and talk to us when we have questions. We have a box by the back door there, it's black. The sign was missing, and I heard somebody ask, what's that box about? So Joy put the sign back up. If you want to not be able to attend a meeting, but you have something you see that you want to have improved or we talked about, just put a note in there, be a little detailed a little bit sometimes. And if you just want to come in and follow up on that, everything that goes in there is talked about at our next meeting. You can come in and help explain, because sometimes if it's not detailed, we don't know. We ask, does anybody know what this is about? And somebody always does, so we're good about that. We don't get negative, it's a positive thing. We always try to come up with solutions to offer. Darren at the main building over there always gets a copy of our notes, our minutes. Sarah does a great job of taking minutes. I mean, it's professional what she does. Always have somebody from our office come in and help answer questions, technical questions that come up. So we've got a good committee. This wasn't really started just by bus drivers. It was suggested to us by a couple of people in here that if we're going to get any recognition at all, we need to kind of band together and have a committee representing us to go over there, and it's really paid off. I mean, there's so many things you're probably not aware, especially the new people, that we've got accomplished and got with. Not everything goes through. It's impossible to get everything, but our benefit, I think there's a lot of happy people here now that were not happy. There's a lot of people who enjoy coming to work. We're getting new people who come in and want to work here now. Crosswalks, there's a lot more crosswalks on the streets. Just be advised, you've already seen it, there's new yellow ones. Kids aren't waiting for cars to stop. They push and they go. So be aware of that. We also try to work out problems in the little parking lots to bus safety, when to pass, when not to pass, little tiny things that will be discussed. And just various things. So please join us on Tuesday mornings. It's posted once a month from 9 to 10. If you need to come and go, you're welcome to come and go. But don't be afraid not to put something in the box, so we have something to discuss. We usually talk about 5 or 6 items, and 1 hour is basically the time limit that we take. So Joy's very good at helping us. She's kind of our main representative for the committee, for the other people in the office. But we also sometimes have 2 or 3 people come in. But we always invite people, principals, SRO officers, people from our office that come in and just kind of talk about things maybe that come up, or just grill them. But I think this district is so much better now than it was 2 years ago. I mean, honestly, those of us who've been here for a while question everything, and it was not a happy place for a lot of people. But I think we're good now, and I think everybody should be proud to work for Maze. Proud of Kathy. I think she's super. And that's TAC. I mean, it's created an atmosphere of positive things here. Not everybody's always happy, but we don't try to punish or never embarrass anybody. And then we question some things that might have been said, but we have questions about. So that's all I have to say. And welcome to the meeting, and use that box over there if you don't mind.
Good job, Paul. All right, radio traffic. You guys are doing pretty good. Make sure you keep it to a minimum. Don't chastise, talk respectfully to everybody. Don't idle chit chat. We don't want to know what you had for breakfast. Say what you need to say and hang up the mic. Call your bus number first and then who you're looking for. So if I'm on bus 1, and I always say my number twice, because if I'm excited or I'm in a hurry, we miss the bus number, at least in here. So bus 1 to control, bus 1. That way they hear control, and now I'm listening and I've heard your bus number again. So just say it twice. It makes it a little easier on us. We're all getting older in here, so.
Can you bring up any of the kids, wait for a second before they talk?
Yep, and that's a good point. So when you kick the mic on, it takes just a second for that to kick in and actually start relaying your voice. So when you hit that button, just give it a second and let it, your fingers sit on there and then say what you need to say. Okay? That's why if you do your bus number twice, we'll catch that. This is the para-training information. If you need to, you can take a photo of it. This is Thursday, February 22nd. It starts at 8 a.m. They're going to talk about behavior in the brain, and I tell you that sounds ridiculous, but they have some really good info. It'll be, this is actually going on at the Aquatic Center. At 10 o'clock, they're going to move to transportation building for all of us. And so from 10 to 10:15, you'll be in here, or you'll travel to here at 10:15. You'll talk more about transportation and para involving that stuff here. And then 11 to 1, they're going to do the lunch. And then after lunch, I think you come back here. I don't know how I cut that off. I think you guys come back here after lunch. But everybody should have got this email, so it's in your email as well. Yes, ma'am.
So I have parent-teacher conferences for my kids at like 9 that morning. Can I come and go?
Yep.
Like, just come for the morning and then leave and then come back?
So her question was, she's not going to be available to do the whole thing. You can come and go through these as you want. That's why they tell you where they're at. The one thing I want to make sure that you do, this counts as part of your training, the 10 that we have to be here, put in every year. So make sure you sign that sign-in sheet. I get a copy of that, and we get to register that as one of your training sessions. So make sure you sign those sign-in sheets. Find out where it's at and sign in, okay? Cell phone policy, I'm just going to say if you are driving any vehicle, I don't care what color it is, white, yellow, you cannot be on your cell phone. That includes earpieces. You cannot be on them. CDL drivers, that's against the law, period. Yes, ma'am.
You have our maps pulled up on, right?
That's correct. Especially if you're doing trips or something like that. If you set your maps before you leave, before you put that bus into drive and take off, you can set your maps and leave it where it's set so you can see it. You just can't be on it. You can't be talking to your boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, whatever. That just can't happen. If something comes up and it's an emergency, I had somebody ask me that. My kids called me like 10 times. Something was wrong. Pull over, secure your bus, take the call if you have to. Your coach is going to bail you if you are out on a trip. But if you think it's an emergency, you have to pull over and secure your bus in order to take that legally. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
When I'm at a stop at a school, then I need to call that parent to see if that child is supposed to be there that day. That's okay?
That's okay because you're secured at the school.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And this includes at stop signs and stoplights. You're still in drive mode. You cannot be on the phone at a stop sign or a stoplight. You have to be completely secured. Yes, sir.
Guys, if you're on route, and your phone rings and you can see your phone, and if it's from a management staff, their cell phone, check the radio first and say, are you guys looking for me, because maybe it's down? Or pull over and call. If it's multiple calls, if you get, Casey gets 3 calls from me and she's on route, pull over because it's probably something super urgent. We're not gonna bug you unless it's super urgent on your cell phone. But if we call, a management staff calls during routes, check your radio first, we're probably trying to get a hold of you. And if not, if it's 2 calls you missed, just pull over. It takes 2 seconds, pull over and respond, please.
Summer school. It's funny to think about that in February, but it is coming up quick. Yes, if you are interested in something to do over the summer, transportation has some stuff maybe available. I still haven't heard anything about summer school. But if you're interested, just let me know. We'll write it. Don't say your name because by the time I get to my office, I will not remember. Shoot me a text, an email, something. They also have summer crew needed over for painting, custodial, ground crew. We'll need people to clean buses. I haven't decided if we're doing that this year or not. But anyways, if you're looking for work, the district always has stuff to do. Let somebody know and we can get you in touch with somebody. If you have asked me to be on our crew for the summer, your name should be up here. If it is not, you'll need to let me know. This is people that have texted me and didn't tell me in here, so I forgot by the time I got there. So if you have told me you needed to be on this list and you are not here, please let me know, because this is the crew I have so far. This does not guarantee anybody summer work. We only have so many positions, and we obviously give that to folks that have been here the longest, and you're going to have a good rapport for us. If you've missed half of the school year and whatever, you're not going to the top of the list. I don't care how long you've been here. I need somebody that's going to be here every day for summer school because it's ridiculous to find summer help to cover folks. So, but those are the people that we have so far. So if you're wanting on the list, you're not up there, let me know. This is the half day. Oh. So those of you that were with us in October, we did We didn't do it, the schools did it, the high schools. You guys remember we had to come back about midday and take our kids home. Half of the kids, the other half didn't ride, and then we had to come back 2 hours later and do elementary kid. You ever remember? We're doing that again. February 27th, they've decided we're gonna do it again. So, half day for juniors and sophomores. So you'll be taking all of your juniors and all of the ones that don't ride home with their friends. You'll be taking juniors and sophomores home, and you won't have any freshmen, and you won't have any seniors. Now in October, they offered an additional program to the students that didn't have school, so you might have had some of those. They're not doing that this time. All freshmen and seniors will be gone that day. There won't be anybody there. You'll only have the other 2 classes. Yes, sir?
Is that right? Because that's 2023.
Forget the year just to pay attention to the date. The date is right, the day of the week probably is not. God dang it, I thought I had it. I'm so sorry. Okay, gosh, sorry.
What's your birthday?
They're gonna eat lunch at 11:40. Buses are gonna dismiss at noon. We'll run the same rotation we always do in the afternoons. It's just gonna be running at 12 instead of whatever time it is. I don't know if it's a Wednesday.
What about people that have pre-K and stuff at that time? People that have pre-K and stuff, will the other buses take the students? Will we sort that out?
Good question. She's talking about pre-K. That's going to be an issue for a couple buses, but since we're only hauling half a load, we'll be able to figure that out. That's what we did last time. We just combined routes. Yes, Michelle?
The calendar's off.
Yeah,
The 27th is a Tuesday.
Because it says 2023 up there at the top.
Okay.
We just had that whole month.
That's 2 days before Kathy's birthday.
All right, last day of school, for those of you that don't know, the board voted to do a half day for the last day of school. They are still trying to figure out do I have the right month here? Last day is on the Tuesday, the 27th. They're still working out details. By law, we have to serve lunch to the students to account for that. And with the snow days that we've used so far, we really need that last day. So they're still trying to figure out. They came to me and asked if we could put lunches on the buses. I said, heck no, not an option. So we are not putting lunches on the buses. They have to eat at the schools for it to count anyway. They can't leave site. So I think with all the garbage they're bringing home, includes it, forget it, no way. So they won't be bringing them onto school. We just have to figure out what that's going to look like. There's talking right now about releasing at 10:50 a.m. That puts their first lunch at 10 for May South Intermediate, I think. They were not fans of that. So I'm sure this will change. Just keep in mind that that is a half a day. Oh, and February 27th, I need everybody to come in at noon. If you cannot be here at noon on the 27th, I need to know because I'm going to find you a sub, okay? So you'll run your normal route at noon for the 2 classes that'll be here. Yes, ma'am?
Is it on Monday or Tuesday, the 26th or the 27th of February?
27th.
I'm assuming they won't have shuttles that day.
February 2020.
No, yeah, they won't run shuttles. Yep, no shuttles that day. Okay,
You're gonna remind us again on the.
I will remind you again. A week, yes, I'll remind you again. Yep, couple times.
When does school start?
This is next year's calendar. It was approved at the board meeting on Monday night. They'll come out with a prettier version like what we always have, but if you haven't seen it, it is on the agenda. You can pull it up and look at that. First day of school is going to be on the 14th, which is the second Wednesday of the month. So, and we're going all the way to the 22nd of May. So, did I give the wrong date? August. What did I say? All right, we're gonna go through this quick because if you guys have been here very long, you've seen this one before. This is a first grader at Mays Central. He made a really close friend. This is a Facebook post, by the way. Mom put this on Facebook, said he was on the bus, he made a really good friend. Can somebody please tell me who he was and give me his information so we can get them together for a play date? This kind of goes back to what Dr. Skelton was talking about. If they reach out to you as the driver, and they did reach out to this driver, you cannot do that, okay? You cannot do it. If mom wants to give his phone number to the other kid, the kid can bring it on and give it to that kid, but you have nothing to do with it. Keep your hands clean of that. Don't get involved. No, that's the message. Don't get involved. All right, how much fuel are you supposed to keep in your vehicle at all times? Half a tank, look at that, you guys do know, awesome. If you are driving someone else's route, someone else's vehicle for any reason, and you bring it back and it's only at a half tank, and if it's at 3/4 tank, be nice and fill their vehicle back up. If you run it on a daily basis, like pre-K, if you're driving a pre-K bus that's not yours, it's somebody else's route bus, be nice and fill it up once or twice that week. Because it's really aggravating when they come back and they have to fuel it because they're sharing it with you and you're not doing anything. And make sure you're cleaning that bus as well. Questions? Make sure you're emptying your mailboxes on a regular basis. Hopefully you guys aren't all getting crammed on that back wall now. That's alleviated some of that, adding more mailboxes. Remember, you're not allowed to have decorations on the outside of your bus, in the windows, surrounding the driver, hanging in your bus, on your doghouse, dad. You're just not supposed to have decorations. We've already talked about this. I hear there's still decorations out there. I have not had time to go police it. I don't think I should have to, but if I need to, I will. You just can't have stuff. So no Christmas trees on your dashes, no snowmen hanging from your windshield wipe. I don't know. You just can't have it. The state of Kansas, the Highway Patrol is the one that come in and told me to tell you guys to knock it off. I'm relaying the message. If you get a ticket, it's on you and it costs you a write-up because you have been told not to do it. So, yes ma'am.
Can we have window clings though, right?
If you do window clings, it has to be back behind the seats, your front seats where you can see out. It can be in that second seat and farther back. The window clings are fine.
And see, I've got wheelchairs, so I can't see out where the wheelchairs are anyway.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep. The window clings are okay.
I presume on mini buses that don't have saddlebags, this doesn't mean like a Kleenex box, we can grab it quick and hand it to them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I have a question about when it's getting really hot and our side windows, that pours in a lot of heat. Can we put a light tint on those windows?
Nope.
Nothing at all?
Nope. That's changing the bus and we can't change the buses. Nope. They won't let us do it. Okay? Everybody's clear? I love to decorate my bus. When I had it, I decorated it all out. I didn't know I couldn't do it. That was 20 years ago, but. All right, guardians, you need to make sure you clean up after your kiddos in the break room. Things are getting better. We have noticed in the last couple days we're having to wash dishes and pick up toys. So if you're bringing kiddos, make sure you're cleaning up after them in the break room. All right, hallway. So apparently last week or whenever that was, I had another staff member in my office. We had to block the hallway off. My room is obviously not soundproof, and many of you come to my office, which I'm fine with, and you wait to visit with me, but you can hear everything going on in my office. So I had them block the hallway off so that we could have a private conversation with someone, and several of you got really grumpy with the folks that were sitting up front saying, sorry, you can't go down the hallway right now. I don't know why that's an issue. We were discussing things that had absolutely nothing to do with anybody else. So if they have that hallway blocked off, there's a reason for it. I shouldn't have to go over to the mechanics and have a conversation over there just because I don't want anybody to hear what we're saying. So respect that things happen in here that not everybody can hear, and we just sometimes have to do it. So don't give everybody a hard time if we have to block that off. We've only done it once since I've been here.
Can a door be closed also?
It was closed.
Oh, it was?
Yep, it was. But we were making a phone call and it was on speakerphone, so you'd have heard everything that was going on. And that's not an option. So that's why we had to close the door and block the hall. So make sure if you text messages, I hope we're done with snow days, but if you weren't getting the text messages, let us know. Make sure you continue to do your fluid checks. How are we doing on those, Tammy?
That would be Sandy.
Sarah, are we doing good on those?
Yeah. The only thing I have to add on those, if like you're in bus 212, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you jump in a different bus, put that fluid check on a different page because now we have to sort them by bus number for the state. So it kind of gets goofy on keeping track for filing. So yeah, if you jump in a different bus, put it on a different sheet.
You've probably seen her at her front desk buried in those things. Like, we are going to get that plaque. Slow down when you pull into the parking lot. Remember, you only go in the in and out the out. Don't come in that end and out that way. You will hit somebody, or they'll hit you, and it'll be on you. So it is one way in and one way out.
Stay with the front parking lot.
Yes, because I saw
Yeah.
somebody leaving out of there yesterday.
Oh, that's what I meant, coming into the parking lot. Sorry if that didn't come in clear. Okay. Clamps, we talked about that when we had snow. That was last year, I think. The clamps hanging out here on the mirror while the snow's all over. So make sure, spring break's coming up, make sure you clamp those doors shut and disconnect your batteries. Don't disconnect it, use the switch.
We're talking about snow tomorrow morning.
I heard that. If we're getting snow, I want a snow day. I'm done. Life 360. This is just one app. This was a couple of years ago we talked about this. There are many apps out there that track kids now that the parents can put on your phones. They can tell how fast you're going. They can tell where you're at. And trust me, when you're speeding, they know it, and I'm the one they call. Did you know Michelle's doing 46 and a 45 out on blah? Okay, I'll pull the cameras and we'll take care of that. So just keep in mind, they can see what you're doing. They know where you're at. Just do what you're supposed to do, and don't do what you're not supposed to.
How would they do that? Because I thought you had to be invited or something.
No, if my kids have it on there, I can see on there exactly where they're at. And it tells me how fast they're going because they're old enough to drive.
I literally just had a dream last night of being in my bus, and we were like speeding on the road, like just swerving.
Who's your driver?
Casey.
All right, I got a couple things to go over. With the speed limit on the lot's 15, I mean, that's everybody. Make sure you're leaving at the right time. We're getting clustered again in the afternoon, so don't leave before it's your time. Activity drivers, clean and fuel your buses, please, and park it back in the correct stall. So like on the north fence, there's numbers up there that says like 19, 22. I mean, they're numerical. Park it back in that stall. We're working on getting the new stalls. There's a couple movements, nothing big. Mostly the sub buses we're trying to get down towards the end. So if you look up in your mirror, it has a stall number. If you don't, let me know so I can put one in it.
Chris, I got a question.
Yep.
On the activity buses, did we get all the stickers so we can get in the gate?
No.
Okay.
I have the program. We lost the password, so.
Okay.
And nobody seems to know it. So we're working on that. I will once they get it figured out. I'll start unlocking all the new ones. The men's restroom, guys, it's getting gross in there again. Clean up after yourselves. Quit peeing on the toilet seats. Right now it's leaking. That's from the urinal. It's been doing that off and on for a couple of years. We've reported it. But there's other times when it's not leaking and there's stuff in front of the urinal and it's not water. He has done a great job keeping it clean, but come on. Nobody's significant other works here to clean up after you, so clean up after yourself. Time cards. It's happening again where people are clocking in before you're supposed to. Every time card has a clock, or the sign that says it above it. You can clock in 15 minutes before your departure. So if you leave the lot at 6:30, you can clock in at 6:15, not 5:45. Unless you have a reason that's cleared by a supervisor. That's me, Kathy, Tony. You don't clock in early. Last year, it was like $250,000 into overtime that we didn't need to pay. Okay, that's 2 buses. We haven't done the figures yet, but I'd be willing to bet we're well over 100,000 already for this year. So, is anybody not clear on what time you can clock in?
I just want some clarification. So we get 3 hours, right? So I've
No,
been clocking.
nobody is guaranteed hours.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was told that when I started, so
Yeah,
that's.
that changed this past year, was in the
Okay.
handbook.
So I thought it was 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon, and I'm
No,
a new
if you
employee.
need that time, you need to talk to me or Kathy.
So this is new to me. I did not know. I was told, and I won't say who it was somebody.
Was that not in the handbook for this year? Did we not go over that? Yeah.
I was specifically told by someone high up that it was guaranteed 3 hours. So that's, I'm sorry, that's what I was told, but I'll adjust my thinking because I didn't know that. I was told
If
that it was
that's what
3
you're,
hours.
if you think that's what it is, you can come talk to one of us.
It's not what I think, it's what I was told, so
Okay.
I'll adjust my
At the
thinking.
beginning of the school year, when we did our back to school meeting, we said, well, no, that's why they went to the time cards. We're away from the time cards, with the clock. So,
I'll talk to the person who told me
Okay.
that, just so that we can get that clear, but,
Okay.
yeah.
is there any other questions on that? Yes.
So, we get here, I get here about 10 or 15 minutes before the hour, because I have to allow for traffic on 4 freeways. So, I should not clock in when I get here. I should hang around, block the hallway, sit around, make
You can
noise,
sit in those,
not start the
right,
bus.
so you want to get paid for 15 minutes that you're not doing anything.
I just want to clock in when I get here so I don't forget to do it later.
I can adjust it, it takes me
Okay.
a minute,
I'll keep doing it.
okay? 15 minutes before your departure time, no more.
Now, the departure times are out the gate, right?
Right, that's your leave time from the lot.
Okay, sometimes it takes 5 minutes or more from us that are parked close to the building to go all the way around and get out.
I'm not gonna get into the little thing.
No,
I
that's
think
not
that's
what I'm saying.
ridiculous. You're trying to nickel and dime, and that's, you can leave 15 minutes, you can clock in 15 minutes before your departure. It's not taking 15 minutes to do a proper pre-trip, but you have that time assigned to you. So if your time is at 6:30, at 6:15, you can be ready to leave, or clock in, to go out and do your pre-trip. At 6:30, you'll be leaving. If your time adjusts, if you're not at 6:30, it's just 15 minutes before your departure time. And in the afternoon, everybody's time is set. I put a map out a long time ago that shows you, if you're at the south campus, you leave at this time. If you're at the north campus, you leave at this time. If everybody leaves at the proper times, then it won't get clustered.
Okay, so we should notify you if we come in to get fuel, come in and do other cleaning on the bus. I mean,
If it's
these
outside of
don't allow
that
time to
15,
get fuel.
if it's outside
They
that
don't allow
15
time to
minutes,
get
then yes.
oil. They don't allow time to go over to maintenance if we need anything.
That's part of your pre-trip time. You got 15
But
minutes.
that's not enough.
You-
If it takes
Yes,
5
it is.
minutes,
It is plenty of time.
no, it's not good.
Well, we'll disagree on that, Tony. That's the policy. It's been that way since we started at the beginning of the year. I put the signs up. You got 15 minutes before departure. Yep. So,
It's really, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna interject really fast here. It's really easy, if you have a legitimate reason to be on the clock, then you can just say, hey, I need to go do this, and they will work with you, it's not a problem. I think the biggest problem is the people that are clocking in 45 minutes early plus and going and sitting in other places when it's unnecessary. That's where they're
you guys,
having a
I
huge
think some of you guys
issue.
forget there's a camera in the break room, and I see your clock-in times. I can look and see who's doing it. And after this week, we'll start auditing, because this is happening so much. Now we're gonna have to start auditing. I'm gonna have to go and look at everybody's time, clock-in times, and go look at the camera and see what time they clocked in, and see what they did afterwards. If it's more than 15 minutes you're sitting in that break room, I'm gonna change your time to the correct time. Okay? That's simple. If you're on the clock, you need to be doing something. You're not getting paid to sit in the break room and gossip. Is there any questions with that? Anybody have issues with that? Okay, this is on record in the safety meeting, so this is the verbal for everybody. I've got 137 people I gotta watch. So keeping track of that time, 15 minutes here and there, adds up when it's 100-something people doing it. Okay? All yours.